Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're enjoying a beautiful day today. I'm filming this at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Looking back at our last week we had talking about ethics and looking forward to talk about our character education programs in schools and in how we carry ourselves. First, I'd like to talk to you about rules to live by. And this is, I'm going to speak from the experiences I've had as a school principal and prior to that as a teacher and in different roles I've had. One of the things that will help you be as successful as you always are is to develop a code of ethics. And I know that's our next discussion post. And so it's if you have a code of ethics and everybody knows what it is you believe in and what it is you stand for and what you won't stand for, you won't have a lot of problems in your career. Because one thing that happens is there's a lot of things that come up to you and they try to push you over. It could be people pushing you over, and I mean that metaphorically, not actually physically pushing you over. Um, but things come and push you, try to get you off course, and they try to get you off course a lot. There's going to be things coming through that you think, well, if I did this, that will happen, or if I did this, this will happen. But if you stay true to your true north, which, by the way, True North is a really good book if you haven't read it yet. But with that said, if you stay true to your own personal true north and you continue to go forward and make your decisions based on your personal code of ethics, you'll never be questioned because ethics is what we have to stand on in education right now. There's a lot of things that you really don't hear about people losing their job unless they do something that's pretty much unethical. And it could be that they have made a negotiation with a company to um, get money for something, and they they don't put the money in the right place. There's a lot of things that will sway us off of course. And so what you always want to do, the lens I always look through a couple different lenses actually. One is, what would my mother say about this? And in your case, it could be your mother, your grandmother, or someone you highly, highly respect. So put that out there in your head. Just think, what would, in these big decisions, what would my mother say? What would my father say? What would that person that has guided me with is ethical in my life, what would they say about the decision I'm about to make? What would they say? The other one that I always lived by, especially when I was a school principal, is would I like to see the results of this decision put in the newspaper? And would I like to see this decision on the front page? Because if your decision is sound and you don't have anything to worry about, put it on the front page. Hey, that's great. This is the decision I made, and I'm backing it because of these reasons. You wouldn't want anything unethical put on a front page if there's questionable things about your character. And that's how things go south because people don't really know why they make decisions. They make them spontaneously, by impulse, by urge, by desires, but they don't make them by what their real conviction, their beliefs are. So it's kind of like walking the walk. You have to walk the walk. So that's my guidelines to you is what would my mother or somebody I highly respect say about it? And the other one was, would I want to see this in the newspaper? And again, find your true north. Find what drives you. Find what your purpose is. So when you're looking at the code of ethics discussion post, when you're looking at that and you're making a decision, what does that mean? Well, what it means is this is how I knew that I really had driven my code of ethics into my staff. I walked into the lounge one day, and all the teachers went, "Don't let Erin catch you saying that." And what I found out is they were saying something negative about a student. I think I may have mentioned this at one of my earlier videos. They were saying something negative, but it wasn't just me that would have been upset. The other teachers then knew what I was about. They didn't know I had walked in the room, and they had self-corrected each other. They had said, and I never was more proud actually than because they had self-corrected without me knowing without knowing I was in the room. The other teacher turned to the other person and said, "Don't let Erin catch you saying that," because what the person had said was something very derogatory about a child. And my code of ethics is I don't care what it is, you don't say anything bad about a child ever. Their life circumstances are out of their control sometimes. So that's kind of something I made up. So when you're filling that assignment, be thinking about that. Think of, you know, would you want to walk in a lounge, and would the people in the lounge know what you're made of? And that is walking the walk, talking the talk all the time in every decision you make, in every deed you do. The next thing I want to talk to you about is our character education program. There's many character education programs out there, but I highly stress is you have one. If your school doesn't have one and you're a classroom teacher, bring a character program into your classroom. And what it does, it gives you a foundation. And most of you are going, well, duh, we have one, and that's great. But if you don't have one, get a character education program. What you need to do is, because it gives you a common language to talk to kids about. But more than that, even, it gives your students a common language they can take home and talk to their parents about. Many of our young parents are struggling with the what is good character, what is good ethic, what are good ethics, and how do they find their own true north. And if children come home and say, oh, we're supposed to be leading by example, mom or dad, or we're supposed to be thinking about the environment, or we're supposed to be doing other things, so things like that. So you're giving kids common language. And I would recommend doing a very short, every single day, message to your students about something to do with character, and then using the experience that happened in your classroom as character development opportunities. So those are the two things I wanted to talk to you about, and I've been enjoying reading your discussion posts, and I continue doing the great work. If you have any questions, a few of you reached out to me with some questions. No questions too small. This is what I love teaching this class. I love teaching the other classes I'm in, so there's no question too small that you can ask. And if you have any, you need anything outside of this classroom, let me know that as well. I've been in education for 27 years, like many of you. I think I've read some of your bios. Some of you have been in education for a while. I've worked in about 6 or 7 districts. I'm now at the San Diego County Office of Ed. I have different lenses for different things I've been in. I don't come in a judgmental way. I come things as a, hey, have you thought of this way? So it won't be like, oh, and it's like more of, hey, these are a couple other things you could try if you wanted to. So if you ever need advice in that way, I'd be happy to talk you through some things. That's kind of like what I like to do. Anyways, have a good day, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.